Hello, everybody. It is Puka on behalf of Changa, Bert Lehman, Ryan Ahill, and everybody at G.O.A.T Sports. We'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas. Dropping my annual interview here with Tom Nesbitt. Talks a little bit about the state of late model racing, all the racing that's going on up there in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada, and a little bit on his health. Hope you enjoy, and like I said, have a very Merry Christmas.
I'm ready.
Welcome, everybody, to the One to Go show. It is Puka speaking. Very special interview. Again, we are here at Cedar Lake. I'm with the late model Hall of Famer Tom Nesbitt for our annual interview. The only Canadian in the National Dirt Late Model Hall of Fame. And we're going to probably be playing this around the holidays, so happy holidays to everyone. So, and thanks, Tom, for taking some time. So yesterday we chatted a little bit. I wanted to touch on Thunder City Speedway and all the success. That's got to make you feel pretty good to have racing thriving back in Thunder Bay.
Oh, it does. It's phenomenal. Is the word that the success of the racetrack.
So you get up there, right? And you've been going?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So tell everyone a little bit tell them about the 50-50, tell them about the crowds.
Well, the crowds are phenomenal. They're 75% of them are brand new fans, and they just pack the place. The 50-50s are true 50-50s because the promoter gave them to these associations,
like nonprofits and stuff.
Yes, well, one was Our Kids Count, and the other's Therapeutic Horse Racing Horse Association. So they're true 50-50s, not like every other racetrack where it's 70-30, 80-20, run by the promoters. Promoter has nothing to do with it. And some of the 50-50s are like $3,000 to $6,000 weekly.
To the winner.
To the winner. Only winner. And last fall, a 2-day show, I think it was 11,000. But they've been getting over 100 cars every Wednesday. They run every Wednesday. Wednesday's been a proven racetrack in Canada because summers are too short and Canadians want to do summer things on the weekend.
Sure.
So it's always been a Wednesday night deal, and it's like Riverview. If it rains out Wednesday, they have a rain date Thursday. So if an American traveler comes up, they can still get to race usually. And there's been 4 to 7 Americans come up there every week, and they, believe it or not, they come from long distances, not just Duluth or Superior, like from Iota, Minnesota.
What you saying, Grand Forks or something?
There's a guy in street stock comes up in Grand Forks every week, and it's just actually a great deal. It's only 2 miles from my house, so I love it.
Perfect. Well, then you were also saying that Mosquito Speedway, many of you might remember Mosquito Speedway, that's firing back up.
Yes. It's a racetrack they made years ago. My cousin and another guy made it. And they never had lights. They always ran Sunday afternoons. And it was successful. They even ran late models. But I had never raced there. And my cousin took me out there when he was building it. It was a complete circle. And I didn't like the idea of it being a complete circle. But anyways, it sat idle for 12 years. And the Simpson family decided to have a big race there. And they really worked their butts off that summer, and they reshaped the track. They redid everything. Actually, it's a fine racetrack now, and there's a new promoter there, G.O.A.T, I think his name is. He's trying to fire it up, and they've had what you call test.
Test and tune
days already this summer, and I'm pretty sure he's planning racing. It's got something like 5 in the field or 5 in the something or other he's calling it. I'm not quite sure how that works, but it's a little scary. He's not trying to hurt Thunder City. I don't think he could.
No.
But it's somewhere for the Canadian racers to go to practice and try some new stuff out on the weekend.
Yeah. They don't want to come to the States.
Right. Well, yeah.
It's a long haul.
Well, you look at those guys from Iota, Minnesota, come up there every Wednesday. It's a guy from Grand Forks comes every Wednesday. Brandon Kopp from Brule, Wisconsin comes every Wednesday.
Seen Belfi's been up there a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Shane Sobraski, he loves the place. Shane says it's a beautiful place.
That's great. All right, real quick, I just want to give quick thank yous to some of our partners. Brad Parsons Soil and Ag Solutions, Fastlane Motorsports, and East Central Sports. Thank you guys, and happy holidays to all of you too. All right, so late models. Just obviously we're here, 38th annual USA Nationals, 40th coming up in a couple of years. I can't believe it, but what's this, in your opinion, just kind of the general state of late model racing, whether you want to talk about national level or even the WISSOTA level?
Well, yeah, late model racing, it for a while it really got out of hand, the cost and tires and everything, chassis. But lately, in the past year or so, the purses have increased to help out. Well, look at this one, 100,000, and I think it's getting bigger. The local shows are hard to judge. The car counts are down at all the local tracks. They're not completely gone, but they're down a bit because of the expenses. Because I don't know the answer. I don't know. I'm not a fan of WISSOTA. I was a fan of it at first to get all the rules the same at all the tracks. But if you read the cover of the rule book, it doesn't mention drivers anywhere. It meant WISSOTA Promoters Organization, and that's what it's about. They don't care about the drivers. I don't think they care. Maybe I'm wrong, but if it wasn't for the drivers, they wouldn't be able to promote a racetrack. And if they don't realize that and start helping the drivers, they're going to be in trouble, I think.
Well, on that note, on the late model side, we've talked about this a couple of years ago. So, with the repairable vehicles, Tri-State, and the Wabam Dirt Kings, where they kind of got, well, even like the Cedar Lake late models, where you kind of run the aluminum or steel. Is it finally time for WISSOTA to explore that, in your opinion, where kind of open it up a little bit? Or would you rather just see the tweaks to what they currently have?
I don't really can answer that. Cedar Lake their car count is down. WISSOTA car counts are down a little bit from what they used to be, and I'm sure it's just a cost deal. And another thing I don't agree with is limited late models. And my grandkid has my very old late model and runs USRA limited late models. It does quite well. It's won a couple of features. But in my mind, I think they're shooting themselves in the foot. They're running for super stock purse. But one thing about the limited late models, there's no expensive shocks. You can run crate motors, or you can build your own motor, but they have a way better tire rule than WISSOTA.
Oh.
Way better. It's a way better tire. It's the old McCreary tire that changed the name to American Racer. My grandson last summer ran the whole summer as a USR late model and bought 6 tires all summer long. And he won a big feature on those used tires. And it's just, I'm not a fan of Hoosier. And I know there's better Hoosier tires out there, because years ago when I used to chase all the open shows,
Yeah.
there's better Hoosier tires, but it's not what WISSOTA orders. A guy that used to work there, Craig Cohen was his name. He told me that, I don't know if it's true or not. It doesn't sound true, but he told me that WISSOTA ordered Hoosier to sweep the dust off the floor and put in the molds. I don't know. It doesn't possibly. It's not true, but that's just what Craig told me.
Sure. Okay. Well, yeah, they're going to go 100 laps on Hoosiers tonight, but not the WISSOTA Hoosier, but the Hoosier.
The Hoosier does make a great tire, but not the WISSOTA tire. And we've got people picking the tires that have never raced and that don't know anything about tires, and they're the ones picking the tires for these poor WISSOTA cars.
Sure. Yeah, that's a great point. So, a question I often get, so you're in your 80s now, how are you? Like your health? I mean, we talked a little bit about your back, but I get that question all the time. You see Nesbitt, how's he doing? How's his health?
Health-wise, I'm not bad. I can't walk 10 feet. I can drive 1,000 miles. I got something wrong with my lower back, and probably race car oriented, or happened in a race car years ago. But I was on a list for an implant to deaden the nerves, and now they tell me I'm too old for this implant, and they want to try and treat me with drugs. I said no drugs. But like I said, I can drive 1,000 miles, no pain, but I can't walk 10 feet.
And this is the Canadian system. I want to clear, because Americans might not understand. They're like, what do you mean?
No, the Americans, I've talked to 3 people now who had the implant, and they love it.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
You know. And, but anyway, I don't know where I'm going home tomorrow to, I have a doctor's appointment. I went through the prostate cancer thing, and that's all cured apparently. And I've got the final doc appointment with him Friday, so that'll kind of ruin my next weekend, I think. But I want to get my back fixed, and because you don't do anything, you can't do anything. Right, my muscles are gone, and it's just a great effort for me to try and do anything. If it wasn't for my friend Ben sitting over there, Brent, and I wouldn't be able to. Brent comes here and helps me out with silly things like sweeping the floor, and emptying the garbage. It's a big task for me to do that now.
Okay. Well, we're wishing you the best of luck there. All right, so here's a couple, or this is what I've been wanting to ask you this one for a couple of years. If you're in your prime, would you go to the Dome in December and race your late model?
Sure.
You would, on that short little,
yes,
with the rough and tumble, I guess you could call it.
I wouldn't go with a conventional setup like most people go there. You'd have to come out with something different, like 60 or 65% rear, because everything is one off the corners. It's the first 30 feet, and if you get off the corner fast first, you're gonna do good. These setups, you're gonna have to have, and strong bumpers.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It's pretty rough and tumble. It's like it's almost like a
good bumpers, and I would just do a different setup there.
Okay, it's a cross between racing and WWE wrestling. Almost that show.
Yeah,
but it's made for TV. Everyone's home in December. It's cold out. Sit there and watch it all weekend.
I've been there. I went there once with my daughter. We had a great time.
Okay.
And we watched. It was great. The track could be bigger. It would be better if it was bigger, but the grandstands are collapsible, and they don't want cars going over the fence into those grandstands and ruining the mechanism. So that's why the track is the size it is. And another thing, it's not clay.
Right. It's the
sand or dirt they use for indoor motocross and everything. So if you add water to it, it just makes a mud.
Okay.
And they are getting better. And Kevin Gundicker, he's the one that does it, but he doesn't have the best stuff to work with.
Yeah, I'd heard that. About the motocross. That's the sand they allow indoors, and that's it. That's their policy at the building, right? Yeah. All right, final question. So we're gonna, see most of the best late models in the country tonight. Who, in your opinion, is in 2025 is the top late model driver out there?
Oh, there are probably 5 of them.
Go ahead. Who are the 5?
Well,
Ish.
O'Neill, Davenport. Not that I'm a fan of Ricky Thornton Jr., but he's really there.
Bobby.
Pierce. Oh yeah, yeah. And right now my mind's a little blank.
I'm trying to think of Devin or
Devin Moran. Yeah, he's right there. McCready's come back.
Yeah.
Overton used to be better than he is. Well, I don't know what that is. Maybe, but he's running that house car for Longhorn, so he should have the best of everything.
Brandon Shepard's been better lately.
Yeah, well, they've got a brand new rocket that he just brought out a month and a half ago, and apparently that's the cat's ass. I'm talking to Pat Dorr and my grandson. They have rockets, and I asked them the difference, and they said it's a completely different car.
Oh, really?
And I haven't had a chance to look it over. I made it, too late today.
Are you a Garrett Albertson fan?
Yes, he pulled a boner last night.
That was potentially dangerous. But he said he did too. He did admit it.
Well, he the night before he got screwed in the feature.
Yeah.
They got spun around. I thought it was McCready, but somebody said it was O'Neill, and he got put to the back because he was the only one stopped.
Yeah.
Well, then when he put Jake Tim into the wall last night, that was unnecessary.
Yeah.
He was. I call it. I shouldn't say it. Daryl Nelson.
Well, speaking of Jake Tim, I watched you run down at Acadia for many years. Well, it wasn't many years, or a handful of years, because it didn't stay open that long. But do you have any Bob Tim memories when you raced against Bob? Bob was a pretty good racer himself down there. You and Keith Foss and Lance and Bob.
Bob is a friend, but one night at Casson for a challenge race, it's a long time ago. We went into turn 1. I was running 4th, and he checked up in front of me, and I had to check up and stop, cause the yellow. Anyways, they tried to put me to the back, and I didn't believe it was my fault, and I wouldn't go. So they brought a tow truck out.
So you're parked on the front stretch or what?
Front stretch, and they hooked the cables up, and I went over to the tow truck and unhooked them, and I told the driver, I said, "You're not the only one in the world who can run a tow truck," I said. And anyway, I said, "You got to push me off." It was funny. They pushed me for about 3 laps before I decided to pull off. And I went to get my pay, and they wouldn't pay me. So the promoter's brother, I went to see him, and he loved it. And he peeled off 4 $100 bills and gave them to me, and wanted me to come back.
well,
But the head of the challenge race that year fined me $500 and a 2-week suspension for that act. And we all knew who the head was. I'm not going to mention it.
What did Bob ever say? Nothing?
No,
okay.
no, he would just, no, it wasn't his fault.
No, right.
It was
Yeah.
no fault at all.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, hey, thanks again for your time. And like I said, everybody, happy holidays to everyone. We'll catch you on the next video.